Welcome, welcome. This is the Liberal Studies webinar. Liberal Studies is in the College of Science and Math, which is unique. We are the only Liberal Studies degree in the College of Science and Math in California. We are an undergraduate teacher preparation program mainly, and I'm gonna just show you a little bit about more about who we are and what we do. But first of all, I want to congratulate you, all of you and your families for getting into Cal Poly. We know that you have an important decision to make, and we're really happy to be here for you and help you make the best decision for you. I know things are going to be important. How is the faculty? How is the curriculum? What kind of careers do I get to? How are the students like? And we hope that we give you a feel as much as we can through this virtual environment so that you can make a good decision and it's the best for you. But we're really, really happy that you're here. And I'm still seeing that participants are increasing. So I'm giving it a couple of minutes. My name is Dr. Lola Berber Jimenez. I have many, many, many names. I have the privilege of being the Liberal Studies Department Chair and Director now for the last 11 years. So I have a lot of experience with our students, with our curriculum, with the profession. I'm very happy that you're here and that you're participating with us. So. Thank you for coming. We wish we could meet you in person, but this is the best we can do. You're looking at a picture and in our beautiful campus. This is the Arboretum. This is the third year group, a small third year group that we have in a barbecue event that we had in the fall. So you're looking at some of the faces of our current students, and we're very, very happy to see them and hoping that we get to meet you too at some point. So I'm gonna advance my slides. I do have some announcements. With me, I have a panel of faculty and students that are gonna give you a better feel of who we are. Also we are using the questions and answers function of this webinar so that you can ask your questions and hopefully we get to all of them. I have two people working in the background, two very important people working in the background, and that's our coordinator, Bronwyn Chacone, and Vanessa, our student assistant. So they're both trying to get to your questions, and it's very, very important that we get to them, and we'll do our best. So again, welcome. And let me just get to the next slide. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so here's our plan. We have a very simple plan. We are gonna, it's in two parts pretty much. We're gonna meet the Liberal Studies faculty and talk about things like curriculum and how do we do our motto, which is learn by doing. And the second part, we're gonna meet some of the Liberal Studies students so that they can tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a student in Cal Poly, what are their experiences, what are the things that they have experienced and they treasure, what else are they doing and what plans do they have. I will finish this webinar with your questions. Hopefully we'll get to that part so that we can answer everything you have. But I wanted to get started with the faculty. One of the major things that we have is the dedicated faculty that drive all the efforts that we have. And we're very, very fortunate to have a lot of people with lots of experience in the classroom, as well as in the field, like in the discipline. We are in the College of Science and Math, as I mentioned, which is unique. We find that that helps us bring the resources, the strong resources that a comprehensive polytechnic university has into bringing a better environment for learning and teaching. So we're mostly about learning with the eye to be an effective teacher at some point. We want to create those long life learners. And we're hoping that we are creating people that are resilient to the profession, that continue, that are inspired all the time. We have some of the humanities, obviously. College of Science and Math gets us to get some of the pieces that we have, the labs, the facilities, the connections between faculty, but we have half of the curriculum in science and math. The other half is in the humanities. So we teach some of the classes. Some of our faculty teach the arts with the eye of in education and learning and creativity. We teach some of the sociology and history and court cases that actually have impacted the way that we do education. The 4 panelists are in the bottom. You can see my face right there in the middle. Anne-Marie and Dave and Nancy will be joining you and introducing themselves pretty soon. But we have principals, people that have been in administrative positions, children's literature, history, performing arts and music. And we are being very lucky to have 2 new positions, tenure track positions joining us starting in the fall. So they will be starting with you. I'm very, 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 very excited about that. In addition, because we're central at Cal Poly, we interact with many units, including most importantly with the School of Education. So we have faculty that are guiding us to figure out what are the best alignments that we can do in our courses as students are developing their content so that they can also be reflective practitioners. So we have that in mind. We're very lucky. This is Elsa Medina. There's 6 math education faculty in the math department that have the goal of making sure that we are teaching more than just standards, right? That we're teaching things that are gonna be lasting, like problem solving and being impactful to different learners. So we have that. We have some of these are single subject advisors. Joel Orth in the middle is the history advisor, and we have Megan Geis that is in the School of Education and also doing English, along with Sesame and faculty in the School of Education in literacy and language learning. So we are a team. We are very, very, very focused on student learning. We're very, very, very excited to have practice as you develop the content, as you develop skills that you will need as a future teacher. I have with me 3 amazing people, 3 faculty, and I want to leave them some time to introduce themselves. So we'll start with Anne-Marie Bergen.
Thank you, Lola, and welcome everyone. I'm excited to have you here. I'm sorry I can't see all of you. I am started out in education just not knowing I wanted to be an educator. So my teaching, I never thought I would be a teacher until I had an incredible experience as an intern at an outdoor school called Foothill Horizons in Sonora, California. That led me directly into teaching in the K-12 world. And I taught in Oakdale, California, 6th grade and 4th grade, and began to develop science programs. I developed a science lab program in Oakdale, and then the final 10 years in Oakdale, a district-wide science program. That involved me in state and national in science and STEM, which then I was invited to Cal Poly to be a guest teacher there, teacher in residence. And then Dr. Berber hired me into the liberal studies department, where I've been able to use all of the work that experiences I've had as an educator, as an educational leader, and in professional development to develop learning experiences for our liberal studies students who most of them are on track to be teachers. So it's been an incredible experience for me to be in liberal studies. This is my 10th year. Our students are fantastic, and I'm excited for all of you to join us here at Cal Poly.
Hi, I'm Dave Mitchell. I'm the guy in the middle, although I have a little quarantine beard now. So I have a much less glorious path to here than Anne-Marie. I have a PhD in physics. I'm actually an astronomer. And so I came to Cal Poly to teach astronomy and physics. But I also teach the physical science courses. It's a sequence of courses that the liberal studies majors take here their first year. And also, although I don't have the background in the schools, teachers are someone that I value very highly. And I don't really think there are many people in the world that have as in an influential position in our world as teachers. And so I've decided to sort of push my career in the direction of supporting future teachers. So I am now, I have a joint appointment in both the physics and liberal studies department. And I advise the science concentration for the liberal studies majors and help coordinate all the science courses. So nice to meet you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nancy Stouch, and I, similar to Anne Marie, have had a lot of experience in schools. I was a middle school science teacher and high school teacher for about 20 years, and I have been at Cal Poly now for 16 years. I started out as a guest teacher as well, and now am a faculty member in liberal studies. I am the coordinator of our single subject program, so I offer the pathway for some liberal studies majors that decide that maybe they want to teach older students, middle or high school, so I can be a resource as they possibly go down that pathway. So I teach the physical science classes as well. Love our students, they're the best, and I will talk to you in a few minutes about our curriculum. So welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have a focus question, and Nancy's gonna get us thinking or presenting what is our curriculum like. Nancy.
Excellent. So I just wanted to start off that preparing multiple subject teachers is an incredibly huge responsibility. Because you have, I did not teach elementary school, I taught middle and high school, but you can imagine an elementary teacher having to be prepared to teach all of these different subjects. So our curriculum is guided by elementary subject matter standards and our K through 12 content standards. And we've got two big areas. We've got the 7 domains from elementary subject matter and the 4 core ones, which you can see there at the beginning: English, history, social science, science, and mathematics. And then very important other ones with visual and performing arts, PE and health, human development, and then finally those pre-professional courses. So one of the power of our curriculum, and Alola alluded to this earlier, is that the educators, the professors that are teaching these courses have the opportunity to wear 2 hats, and not only are teaching content, rigorous content, but also are teaching it in a way, in a pedagogy that that models what good teaching is. So it's really a win-win situation. Our students get out as freshmen right out into our local schools, so they start making that transition, thinking of not only being a student as they are at Cal Poly, but what is it going to be like to be a teacher? How do I start thinking about my development as an educator right from the start?
All right, so another piece to our curriculum is the availability or the ability for each of you coming to Cal Poly to really develop an expertise in an area that is going to support you as an educator. And we call these concentrations. So part of your curriculum is going to be a choice that you make in an area or concentration. You can see the list that is up along here, from child development, environmental education, Spanish, teaching English to speakers of other languages. And so about the end of your second year is when you would start to make that choice. So you have a couple of years to think about what it is that you would like to concentrate in. Many of these lead to minors. 2 of them are absolutely direct minor, lead to direct minors, a child development and Spanish minor. Yet other ones with some extra space in your curriculum and some extra courses can also lead to a minor. And this is really a great way for our young teachers, or you as going into education, to actually have an expertise that you can bring into a school or a district that can actually take you into a leadership role. Many of our students who come out of Cal Poly and have these concentrations or maybe continued on with a minor end up in as a very young educator, having leadership roles either district-wide or school-wide that allows them to move forward in their profession. So I'm very excited about these. They change every once in a while depending on what student interests are. And then one I'm particularly excited about, because my life started in education, was environmental education. We had a number of students who were very interested in this, as well as some students from other majors who would come and speak to me about this. And so we developed this as one of our concentrations, and that's one of the new ones we're launching. So again, this is a great way for you to develop an expertise and to have it support you as you move into education.
Thanks, Emery. I just wanted to add that some of this, especially the core areas, the English, the math, the science, and the history, leads to authorizations. So some of our students do teach in middle school, and that's an opportunity for them to actually get in-depth concentrations.
Right, so a few of these things have been touched on already, but Cal Poly's motto is learn by doing, and that's absolutely the way we do things in liberal studies as well. So we have these student-centered courses. As an example of one of the courses I teach, this whole first year of physical science courses is entirely inquiry-based. Students are doing labs, they're working together to discover things, there's no lecture. And not only are there a lot of courses that are really student-centered, hopefully modeling quality teaching that students can take into their own classrooms, but their students are doing critical thinking about both the content and about what it looks like to teach content in a classroom. All right, so when you're taking, say, a visual or performing arts class, you're not only thinking about the content, you're thinking about what is it like to teach this to a second grader or a fifth grader. As I think Lola mentioned already, students are in the classroom their first year. They're getting a taste of what is it like to be a teacher? What does that mean? And they're there frequently. The Frost Research, so this is, there's a large endowment in the College of Science and Math that provides research opportunities over the summer. And so every summer we have a number of liberal studies students who are able to do research in various areas that is paid for by the college. They get a stipend, and often it turns to do things like papers or conferences that they get to go to. And it's not just in science. There are students doing research in education as well. It's a pretty exciting opportunity. And I have some pictures of what I did later. I don't know if I'll be talking about it, but I've done that myself with some students in astronomy. There's also these senior capstone courses where students can dive in deeper to an area like science or history or art and think about not only the content more deeply, but again, about what does it mean to develop a quality lesson for students in these materials. So the whole 4 years, starting from the second they walk onto campus, not only are they in the student-centered environment, but they're thinking, what does this look like in a classroom?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have a small transition to see if there's any questions. And Bronwyn or Vanessa, do you have any questions for us?
We have one question that we're answering right now, but nothing to report as of yet.
Thank you, Vanessa. All right, well, then we can continue. Very, very exciting that you guys get to meet our students. So we're gonna introduce them. They're gonna tell you who they are, the year, the concentration, if they have one. Some of them are first year, so they're still thinking about it, and where are they from. All right, we have started with Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan Dixon. I'm a first year, so I haven't declared my concentration yet, but I plan on concentrating in science, and I'm currently in the LA area.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I am a third year from the Sacramento area, specifically Elk Grove, if you know where that is, and I am a child development concentration / minor.
Hi, I'm Rachel Kimball. I'm a first year. I have not yet declared my concentration, and I'm from the Bay Area, specifically in Marin County.
And Vanessa, the picture next to Rachel is in the background, looking at questions and answering those questions. So next we have Amanda.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda. I'm a third year student. I'm concentrating in science, specifically biology, and I'm in the LA area also.
Hi everyone, my name is Claire Berkwin. I am a third year concentrating in math and I have a minor in biology.
Great.
Hi everyone, I'm McKenna. I'm a second year student and I'm from the LA area, specifically Palos Verdes, and I'm concentrating in teaching English as a second language and minoring in child development.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm a second year. I haven't declared my concentration yet, but I'm planning on doing science, and I'm from San Diego, California.
Yay, lovely, thank you. So we have 3 focus questions, and we ask 2 of them to basically share their experiences or answer those questions for us. So what has been your favorite experience in LS? And I have Morgan and Rachel.
All right, so my favorite experience so far, I can only share for my first 2 quarters since I'm a first year, but my favorite experience has been all of the events that the Liberal Studies Department holds. So it really creates a sense of community and support outside of the classroom. They hold a lot of events every quarter, such as they have a pancake breakfast that all the liberal studies majors can go to. And they have a cake day too at the beginning of every quarter. So you get to celebrate the beginning of each quarter with a slice of cake. And then at the beginning of every year, they also have a welcome barbecue that helps the freshmen meet all of the older liberal studies students, which can be really nice at the beginning of the school year just to get to know more people in the major. So yeah, it's really nice to be to have that sense of community coming from somewhere else and starting school in SLO.
I definitely have to agree with Morgan on that, and kind of segueing off of that, something that's been really fun and it's really allowed the LS students to bond is the physical science series that we've been in. And so the reason why I like it so much is because it's so hands-on and parts of it relate to teaching. So usually for each quarter, you do one project toward the end of the quarter that will relate to teaching and applying it to a classroom, which I really like. And then additionally, with the PSC, with the physical science series, the classes are very small and they're typically all liberals, they're mostly liberal studies students. And so you get to know everyone really well through that. And it allows you to make more friends, especially your first year through the transition to college.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel and Morgan. Just a reminder, there are, if you have any questions for any of us, students included, please add those in the Q&A in the bottom of your Zoom app. So just check in there. People are looking and we're really excited to hear what you have to ask us. So here's a transition picture. We have being in the community, obviously a beautiful community of the Central Coast, and being so close to the sea. Plus, we go to museums at some points, and just thought it would be cool to show you some pictures. Our next focus question is, how is our program preparing you to be a teacher? And I have McKenna and Alexis answering that question.
So the liberal studies program prepares us really, really well to become teachers. And I'm only a second year and I still have half my degree left and I already feel so prepared. And some of the ways it prepares us is through classes that are directly geared towards preparing us for the field of education itself. So for example, all first year liberal studies students are part of an orientation to liberal studies class in which we start to learn a little bit about the field, think about the types of careers we might want, and develop our own teaching philosophies. And then we take kind of a similar class around your third year, which is a career preparation class, in which you focus on personal or professional development and developing our goals and philosophies a little more. And then one of my favorite experiences with how the program has prepared us is our field experience classes. So a lot of first year students are blocked into this. So as early as your first quarter, you could be actually going into a local elementary school classroom and working with students and teachers. And this is such a cool experience because not only are you getting hands-on experience working in a classroom, but there's also a lecture portion to it. And so you're learning every week a different topic like classroom management, and then you're reflecting on how you saw that topic in the actual classroom. So having that experience really gets us comfortable with being in that setting and prepares us in that way to become teachers. And we just have so many other amazing opportunities, and the faculty is always there to support us to become teachers and answer any questions or concerns we might have. And we just have such a comprehensive foundation, both personally and professionally, that gives us a lot of confidence going into a career in education.
Thank you. Oops, so sorry, I did not mean to switch that.
Going off of what McKenna said, our curriculum is really specific to teaching in other courses, like other than the professional development courses in field experience. So like our math and science classes are super hands-on, and in all of our classes, it's pretty much connected to curriculum we would actually be teaching in schools. So it's kind of things I've never experienced before, like the next generation science standards. We're learning about like engineering, which I never had an experience with, but we're going to have to be prepared to teach that, and new ways of thinking about math. So that's really interesting. And also in our performing and visual arts classes, we always connect it to the standards that they want to see in California. And we kind of think about, oh, well, how would I connect this art project to science or English or something like that? And in many of our classes, we've gone on field trips, and it's just kind of building those connections and figuring out how it would be applicable to the classroom.
All right, thank you so much. That was excellent. Next focus questions. What clubs or extracurricular activities or other activities are you involved with? And I have Claire, Amanda, and Emily.
Hi everybody, I'm Claire. I am involved in a lot of stuff here at Cal Poly outside of liberal studies classes. And one of my things that I'm involved in that takes up most of my time is I am on the club water polo team here at Cal Poly. That takes about 3 hours a day. And then I'm also on COSAM ambassadors, which are, if you ever come to Cal Poly, they give tours of the College of Science and Math, and we work closely with the College of Science and Math and the dean in administration things and other things that could help just students of COSAM. I also volunteer with one of our professors who teaches kinesiology. He also teaches a golf class to kids, and I volunteer with him as an assistant coach. And then I'm also on the Liberal Studies Student Council, which most of the people on this panel that are students are on. And I also studied abroad in London. That was an amazing experience, and you usually get to take your GEs that wouldn't already be in our as major classes, but they are a lot of programs that offer other GEs or major classes. At Cal Poly, we have over like 300 study abroad programs. And also I was previously in a sorority, but I'm no longer in it anymore. And yeah, that was all my extracurriculars.
That's awesome, thank you.
All right, I am part of Student California Teachers Association, which is Liberal Studies Professional Club. We have like connections throughout the nation with the CTA and SCTA, like main branch, if that makes sense. So Cal Poly has a branch on campus, and I'm part of their board as the public relations officer. I'm also a resident advisor on campus, so I live and work with first year students and continuing students in university housing.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily again. I've also been involved in quite a range of activities on campus. I am a been on the Liberal Studies Student Council with Claire for about 2.5 years. And this year I'm the president. And so we really work with the LS faculty to represent the student voices and put on a lot of those social events you heard about, as well as learning opportunities. My second year at Cal Poly, I had the opportunity to be a WOW leader, which was a really fun and amazing experience. So if you choose to go to Cal Poly, you'll get to go through WOW your first week, which is just such an amazing experience. You make a lot of friends and get a lot of those connections. Last summer, I also got to study abroad in Ireland. I was actually on the same program with Amanda, and that was such a memorable and just growing experience. As Claire said, there's a lot of study abroad programs at Cal Poly, so you can really find one that fits you. And then I also work as a marketing assistant for Sesame, which is the Center of Engineering, Science, and Math Education. So it's a really cool program at Cal Poly where we offer classes to students where you can get hands-on experience teaching the STEM subjects to local students ranging from like 3rd grade up to 12th grade, which again is something really great if you are thinking about going into teaching, because you're going to have to teach those subjects eventually. But yeah, those are my experiences.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. So busy students, here's a slide about the summer. There are opportunities, as David Mitchell mentioned, to work in depth. I always think that teaching and research go hand in hand together. So we're very, very excited to offer these opportunities to our students. And that's part of one of the very amazing reasons that we are in the College of Science and Math, and something that our students have access to. So we're very happy for that. This is our fall incoming class last year. So this is what they look like. You can find some of your faces that you may have met. I want to give Bronwyn and Vanessa an opportunity to see if there's any questions that they want to bring up for the panelists.
Yes, I think we're going to address it later, but someone was asking about they're planning on changing their major already, and was just asking if that was possible, but I think you're going to address that later. Yep. Is that correct, Dr. Berber?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else? Any last words from the panelists? Okay. So I can address the question about changing the major. As you know, when you first applied to Cal Poly, you were possibly 17 or, or around. And it's really hard to basically figure out what major you want to pick. Liberal studies is for students, as you saw in our students, they like learning. They like everything. They like to be involved in their academics. They like to be involved in the community. So it's a perfect major for many, many, many other things. Most of our students, and I'm talking in the bottom here in my questions, it can do anything. If you can work with little children and their moms and their grandmoms, you can possibly do anything. So we like to encourage you to consider a career in education. We see that the statistics are very interesting. We need more teachers than we can produce, and Cal Poly is a fantastic place for us to produce those teachers that know how to do it. They have the background and the enthusiasm and the collaboration with other students and faculty and the community. So we're really, really excited about that. If you made a mistake and you thought this was a liberal arts major, that's very understandable. We can basically work early on. We hope that you we'd like you to consider a career in education, because we need a lot of teachers. But if that's not going to be your goal, we want to make sure that you're taken care of. And I am really good. My son actually, came to Cal Poly in engineering and moved to biology. Pre-med, now he's in the doctor program, and we're here to help you. And I always tell my students, your problems are my problems, so whatever we need to figure out, I will help you. I really would like you to be a teacher though, so keep in mind, keep that option open, and Cal Poly has made it easier for you to move if that's what you choose to do. know that because of your achievements, your high GPA and scores in exams, you are at a high level pretty much in admissions to be in any major at Cal Poly. And this is exactly what we want of teachers. We want people that are very capable and committed to teaching and learning. So so that puts you in a very good position if you decide that that's what you want to do. But again, consider teaching. It's really, we need people. So other questions that I normally have is, are we a waiver program? And if you're not familiar, the state requires that at the end of any bachelor degree that you pass some examinations. They're called the CSATs. And the CSATs pretty much just check your understanding in the 7 different domains that Nancy talked about earlier. And we know that our students have no trouble with those exams. It's just the idea that having another exam, it's just an obstacle that could be there for some of them. But most of our students do very well. All our curriculum is focused to meet those standards. So we are well prepared. It's a matter of just getting the certification from the state. So we do not have a waiver program as of now. We will have a waiver program soon, and we're working on that. So if you have any questions related to that, I'll be happy to answer those. In addition, Anne-Marie mentioned concentration. So we meet some of the basic standards and exceed them in some of the areas. For example, all the students that come to liberal studies come really strong in math. And some of the students in liberal studies, that's our second most popular concentration, is mathematics. They decide that they love math so much that they want to continue getting 5 more courses. And those courses are not easy. They go in depth. And they can actually teach middle school if they decide to do that by adding an authorization because they have enough coursework. They can pass the CSATs for single subject if they decide to do single subjects all the way to high school. So we have some students that do that. And what I really like is that the addition of music, the addition of art, the addition of history, to somebody that is maybe teaching mathematics in middle school or high school, it's going to make this person, and you know, I have a literacy and language learner. So that is going to make a very strong person for high school. If that is something that you decide. Now we have students that have an amazing drive. Our graduation rates are are the highest in the college without any questions, 85%, and one of the highest at Cal Poly. So our students are very, very dedicated into finishing and excited about learning. So that's always an easy thing for me to do. Making sure that all the courses are available so that they complete the degree in 4 years. Some of them do finish earlier. So that's basically the second question that I have in commonly asked questions, the credential. Some programs have an integrated teaching credential program, and we decided in Cal Poly we want to keep it apart for many reasons. But one important reason is that we want you to be an undergrad. We want you to have a little bit of freedom, a little bit more of the connections, a little bit more of the experiences as an undergrad before you become a professional, a teacher. Because once you start a teaching credential program, you're going to be judged by everything you say, by what you're wearing, and you know the drill. It's very, very important to be professional. So because Cal Poly has mostly young students, our average age I think is 20, right? Which is pretty much like an AUC. We thought that it was better for us to keep them separate. The second reason is that some districts give you extra, you enter a higher pay rate if you have them separate from your undergrad degree. So we know that this is something that carries throughout your professional life. We want you to have that bachelor's units, then all those post-bac units that count towards something in your salary. And if your district knows what an integrated program is and gives you that extra salary bump because of that, that's fine. But if you move to another district that doesn't know what that is, you can come down. So we want to make sure that you're that you're thoughtful in your decisions going into the credential. Once you get started, you need to continue. You need to clear your credential. You need to get tenure. So those are pieces of information that takes about 5 years from the time that you start the credential to tenure in a school district. So we are very mindful. We consult often with the School of Education and the state to make the best decision for us and for you. And for you, we think that separating the undergrad degree, the Bachelor's of Science, and the credential is the best thing. The last thing about that topic is a lot of our students are actually looking into getting masters with credentials. And that's something that, that they have a choice. If we have them linked, you don't have a choice, you have to continue. If we unlink them, then you have a choice, you can think. And maybe when you're 22, you can make a better decision of what fits you in your professional life. I just have something to add to a career in teaching and what does a bachelor degree does. Obviously, you heard that we're mostly about elementary education, that you can do a single subject credential, that you can do special education, that you can continue to do counseling and guidance. You can do educational leadership and administration. But I think the skills that you learn in our degree are transferable to many, many other opportunities, public relationships, human resources, you name it. It's basically, we give you a good foundation in a general foundation in education that will promote your career and for the next steps, whether they include a PhD at some point, that's something that you can do. I want to give it to yes.
There was a question on the Q&A that I was hoping that either you or Nancy could answer. If you haven't already, I've been paying attention to this. Yeah. Can you teach in high school after getting your degree in liberal studies, or is it mostly for middle school and elementary school teachers?
Nancy, you want to get that one?
Yes. So I think I just typed into the chat, or the Q&A, but absolutely, the answer is yes. So we have liberal studies students that, like Anne Marie was talking about with the concentrations, that really dive down into a content area and decide, I'd like to teach at the high school level. So our programs are like Dr. Berber was sharing with you, our post-bac programs. So they finish their undergrad degree and then they can apply to a multiple subject program that we have at Cal Poly or to our single subject program. So the answer is definitely yes. We have liberal studies majors that go on to teach high school.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions or comments from the panelists that you would like to add? You're looking at the picture, the beginning was the barbecue, and this is the ending of the barbecue. You met some of us in the picture. Bronwyn is shy. Bronwyn is next to Anne-Marie. This is Bronwyn, and that's Vanessa. She is a senior, finishing a concentration in history and continuing actually with a master's in credentialing UCSB. Riley is our president of SCTA, and the next two fellows that we have, a senior and a junior, both math. They want to teach, actually Saeed wants to be a principal in the LA area, so he's basically on his way because he's, I just heard this morning, he's applying to many programs over there as a math, single subject, and then with an eye of being a principal someday. Any other last thought or questions? I have my email right there. I'm really good at getting back to you. I guess I see Anne-Marie.
Well, I wanted to say, I think this is something that's been said a lot, but our liberal studies department is a small yet mighty group, and it's also a very personal group. So I think I've heard a lot of students talk about all of the activities, Dr. Berber, that you really have brought us together. You are our social person bringing us together. But I get to know students really, really well. All of our faculty do, and our students get to know each other. So it's quite a family. It's a very personal department. I almost want to say it's probably the most connected and close department on campus. And so I think that's what I really wanted to add as kind of a punctuation to all the things that have been said about our department. And you lead us. You have led us there, Dr. Berber. So I also want to add that little piece in.
Thank you. That's very kind. Anything else? Now I'm all red.
Yes, I also wanted to go off of what Dr. Anne-Marie Bergen was saying. We are a very collaborative community, a very collaborative major. And one of the parts that made me commit to Cal Poly 3 years ago was seeing that collaboration, not just with the students, but with the faculty. And that really still holds true throughout all my classes. We have a lot of group projects. We're always working together with homework. And then the faculty are just amazing. They really care about you. They really care about your education and helping you. How can they help you succeed, not just in that class, but in your future career? And that's something that makes a really big impression and really makes that difference.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the best thing about us. I always said I love my job, and we have fantastic students. And
Lola,
yes.
I have some other questions coming from the Q&A. Someone would like you to maybe spend a little bit more time talking about other professions that stem from the liberal studies major.
Okay. Pretty much anything. I want to tell you that I started being a teacher, and then that was my first career, and in elementary, and then I got a PhD in chemistry. I didn't think that was going to be my pathway, but as I lead students, I work with each of you, and I really want to see how is it that, or where are you going, and what are your interests? For me, it was an interesting adventure. I have to say, if I planned it from 18 to now, I would not have seen myself doing what I'm doing right now. But it's just one step at a time. I really truly believe, because of my experience, that you can do anything. I mentioned if you want to do a PhD in chemistry, which we really don't have a strong program, and my program was not really strong as an undergrad, I was able to do it. So I think sometimes we get caught up in you need to learn math and you need to learn history, but it's as you're learning math and as you're learning history, what else are you learning? And being perseverant, being self-reliable, being a good communicator. I mean, those are good things that we're developing as you move forward. So I can tell you that as I started as a chair, I had a pre-med and a pre-law person. I have not seen those lately. We have given a better message into We're About Teaching. But if you're willing to step up and think that you can be a teacher, I really believe that you can do anything, and we can help you. We can help you there. I see Anne-Marie helping me.
Yeah, I was just kind of brainstorming some students who've done other things and gone in different directions. Several who've started their own businesses have also done that. Physical therapy and other healthcare areas, so that this has been a baseline for them going into those professions. Counseling, I have a student who's gone into environmental studies, thought that education was the place, and then sort of has gone more into the environmental studies world. So, and that's just off the top of my head. I work with a lot of, so I sort of, and have connections with them after they leave, but those were some of the things that I know actual students have gone into and are pursuing or are in that profession now.
Yeah, we had that reminds me that we had a student that go into law enforcement, just graduated last quarter. So that's winter quarter. So we have a variety of skills, and that actually are applicable to many careers.
I have a couple more things, Dr. Berber.
Yeah.
Kind of related to each other. One is asking, what is your success rate for students that graduate to get a job teaching in elementary school. And we've had a few questions like this, where I think we should just emphasize that you don't go straight from this degree into teaching in elementary school. Can you sort of explain that process?
Sure.
Again?
Yeah. So the state requires that you have a degree, a bachelor's, before you enter a credential. So that is something that we all have to do. It's a minimum level of education that you need to accomplish before you get into a credential. And then just move forward. All of our students are very successful getting in, you name it, in many graduate programs. We're very, very excited, as Anne-Marie's mentioned, to hear how they're actually transitioning to programs that pushes them and are very competitive. So our acceptance rate to our own credential program is 100%. If you apply, you have your minimum GPA, which is 2.67. It's a B minus, and that's something that the state requires to. You can get into the credential program. And the School of Education, and Nancy is a little bit more allied to the School of Education, they basically say that we cannot produce enough teachers. I know that things are changing as we're all sheltering at home. I'm not sure how that's going to be changing, but I can tell you that I have seen the transition of my teacher friends. We have many that they're very like, oh, okay, I can do this. I was not thinking we were going to do virtual teaching and learning, but we're very, very easy to transition. So Nancy, I don't know if you want to mention a little bit about jobs. As you finish, as far as I know, we have a huge success, almost 100%.
Absolutely. And I think getting a job for sure. And I think we've had students that go, oh, but I'd like to teach in the San Luis Obispo area, but I don't think there'll be openings. And there are openings here right in our area. There's a huge teacher shortage here on the Central Coast and in the state of California, nationwide. So I could have pulled up a graph for you, but the projection of like 2025 versus the number of teachers that are being produced, there's a huge gap. So the field is wide open, and I think it's our job with the undergrad program of liberal studies and then our excellent credential program, single subject, multiple subject, our SPED program, to produce quality teachers ready to go into this amazing career.
I have one more question from the Q&A, Dr. Berber, and I'm not sure if you know the answer to this, but someone wants to know what percentage of students in LS end up going into teaching, and what percentage go into other careers outside of teaching?
Yeah, so those are numbers that we track, and it depends on the economy. When the jobs are plentiful, we get like 50% continuing. When they're not, 75% will continue to teaching. So I would say anywhere between 50 to almost 80% of our students will continue to a career in education. That's pretty typical, and I've seen it fluctuate, and it just depends on what's happening outside. Right now, we have tons of jobs, so there's a little bit more of our students going into that direction. There are times that there were not that many jobs, and we're talking, I've been chair since 2009. There was a recession. Many of our students will graduate and teach in China or Japan, English, while we're developing more skills to get better jobs. So for our major, it fluctuates about those numbers. 50 to 80% will continue into teaching. Is that it?
That's all I have for now. I think we should just mention that this presentation will be up on the admissions website if you want to rewatch it or see the slides again.
Yeah, but we're really happy to hear from you. My email is there. I'm checking it. I'm working every day of the week. As you know, things are harder for us now that we're done virtual. But if you have any questions, I know you have a decision to make. And as I started, it's really, really important that you have all the information. We're happy to help you with that. And if we don't have the answer to your question, we'll guide you so that you know what to do. But again, congratulations. We're really, really happy that you got accepted into Cal Poly. Please let us know if you have any other questions and we'll be happy to talk to you some more.